And then the other way, this is real dangerous, is it manifests through ignoring financial discussions altogether. If there was one thing that I would tell y'all that I thought was the number one kind of um symptom of poverty, if I was to say the number one symptom of poverty to me is not wanting to talk about money. Like people who don't want to talk about money, like they are deep in a poverty mindset. I mean, deep. They think it's a waste of time. You don't want to talk about growing money or building wealth, but you have no problem talking about spending money. And that's my problem with some Christians, if I'm being real. If you want to have a healthy conversation about money, they don't know how to do that without thinking that like you a person that love money or this ain't got nothing to do with God. Like, all right, cool. But at the same time, how much money did you spend today? Do you have a nice TV in your house? Yeah. Do you have a nice couch? Like people love spending money. Like I never meet people spending money and they think that's against God. Like they just spend, 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 right? But if you talk about growing money, then all of a sudden people have a problem. It's as if they never actually read the Bible. It's as if they never read the story of Joseph. It's as if they don't realize that Solomon was a rich king. It's as if they never read Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30. Like it's as if you've never read anything that where the Bible clearly states how you should be a good steward of money. Like how it's better to give than receive. How can I give what I don't have? How can it be better to give something if it's not better to have something? You get what I'm saying? Like, so, like for me, we're so deep into the poverty mindset that sometimes we just want to ignore it. And I'm gonna be real. Everybody who know me in real life know, like, I come with this energy, like, I'm trying to kick it with you about growth, self-development, wealth, like the Bible. Like, I'm trying to do that. And I notice, dog, people will almost fall asleep if I start talking money. So it's like sometimes I don't even bring stuff up. And the crazy thing is like I'm trying to help you because I'm not talking about loving money. We're really a lot of times ain't even talking about making more money. We're talking about being a good steward of the money you have. And we ain't even talking about chasing money. Everybody who know me know I don't like fame. I don't like, I'm not trying to, like, I say run from fame. That's what I like. I don't like, this ain't about like, oh, I want to be famous. I want to be known. I want people to like, no, I really don't rock like that. But I do believe in being a good steward of whatever God has given me. Like, why is it this cycle, right? Like, how can we stop this cycle of generational poverty? That's really what we're looking at. All right, here's the next thing I want to look at. And we're going to look at a couple more and I'm going to get out of here. Financial literacy, right? Poverty can limit access to resources and including financial education. Without adequate knowledge and understanding of financial matters, individuals are at a disadvantage when it comes to managing their finances. Lower financial literacy may contribute to a cycle of poverty. That's what we're talking about, a cycle, as individuals lack the tools and knowledge necessary to improve their financial situation. But part of the reason you think you know what to do is because you've normalized poverty. So many of us has normalized having just enough or having not enough. That's so normal to us because we've been surviving and surviving. It's like, all right, yeah, God gonna do it. God gonna do it. It's like, yeah, I feel that. But when I read the Bible, a lot of times God is calling you to do something. God is calling you to manage something a certain way. But what we do sometimes when we're in poverty, we put the entire responsibility on God. Now, yes, it's his responsibility to save you. Like he say salvation is through God. Like I want to say responsibility. I don't know. I don't want to get into the semantics of somebody like, wait, responsibility. I just said it that way. But I'm saying it's his role to save you, right? But I mean, Jesus gave you, let me break it down this way. God gave you a skill set to be able to get a job, right? So let's say God made you really smart with math or understanding numbers. Then you study and you become smarter. But like when you're doing a math test, God gave you the ability to like pick up a pen and write, or these days they're probably doing a test on an iPad or something. But like, it's not God's responsibility while you in class. You like, hey God, lift my hand up, make me write this. God gonna do it. But you're unwilling to lift your, God gave you the ability to do things. So when God blesses you with money, he gave you the ability to plant these seeds properly. That there you go, like the parable of the sower, right? You look in the Bible, like, okay, God gave you the seeds, he gave you the ability to get the seeds. Like, okay, he's also giving you the free will to plant them where you want to. We put all of the onus on God, like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna take these seeds, I'm gonna throw them in the air. I ain't even gonna plant them in the ground, but God gonna do it. He gonna, and a lot of times what happens is God will make a way out of no way. But the thing is, because you did the bare minimum, you got the bare minimum that he could offer. Sometimes we don't even realize God gave you everything you needed to make it above and beyond, but because you had a just enough mentality, he probably was like, all right, I love my servant. Like, all right, I'm gonna let you meet this one bill this time, but next month you got to turn around and do it again. So you in this cycle. Let's see what Aaron talking about. I love that car. Tinted the windows. That car was dope. And guess what? It was also my first time, 4 or 5 years later, experiencing being upside down and alone. Meaning I owed more on the car than what it was worth, because the reason he was able to stretch that payment out, I found out later through my literacy, was because he stretched out the term. He took it from like a 5-year loan to like an 8-year loan. So I was stuck in this loan paying interest all these years, not knowing, because I was so focused on the monthly payment, because I was illiterate financially. That's just me being real. I was financially illiterate, and I had to admit that and then become a student of the game and learn the game. And then since then, when I go, not since then, because I was illiterate probably for a little bit after that too, and a couple more cars later. But at some point I got tired of that and I became educated. And now I've done many deals in a car dealership, where the last deal I did with a car